Everyone knows the name Rolex. Everyone knows what it means to own one. Precision, permanence, a piece of engineering that outlives its owner. But before Rolex ever built a watch fine enough to earn that reputation, there was already a car doing the same thing. On four wheels, on the roads of England. It didn't tick, it whispered. And it did it so well that even today, engineers studying it can't quite explain how a machine built in 1962 stayed this quiet, this smooth, this close to perfect. This is the story of the Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud III. By the early 1960s, Britain was rebuilding its identity. Rationing was a fading memory. The Mini had just put working families on wheels, and the country was proving to the world it could still make things, real things, built to last. But at the very top of the industry, at the Crewe works, Rolls-Royce wasn't interested in proving anything to anyone. They were simply continuing to build the best car in the world, the way they always had, by hand without compromise, for people who never had to ask the price. Picture the factory floor, rows of craftsmen, not machines, fitting Wilton carpet by hand, book-matching walnut veneer cut from the same tree, so the grain flows perfectly across the dashboard. Elsewhere, a single pair of hands stitches Connolly leather that will outlive the person sitting on it. This wasn't a car being assembled, it was being composed. Under that long silver bonnet sat a 6,130cc V8, big enough to move nearly 2.5 tons of British steel and walnut without ever seeming to try. For the owner, that meant something simple. You never heard the engine work. At idle, the story goes, engineers famously judged the Silver Cloud a success if the loudest sound inside the cabin was the dashboard clock. Rolls-Royce never released a horsepower figure for it. Officially, it was adequate. That single word tells you everything about the confidence behind this machine. The steering was light, almost effortless, the brakes powerful enough to stop the car's enormous weight without drama, and the ride so composed that a full glass of champagne, balanced on the parcel shelf, was said to survive a spirited drive down a British B-road. For the men and women who owned one, heads of state, industrialists, aristocracy, that wasn't a party trick. That was simply what a Rolls-Royce was supposed to do, and it wasn't only royalty and industrialists who fell for the Cloud III. In 1966, a black Silver Cloud III became a supporting character in Michelangelo Antonioni's Blow Up, gliding through London's back streets as the film's photographer protagonist chased his own obsession through the city. Sophia Loren's husband, producer Carlo Ponti, had his own history with the model too. Loren herself drove a Cloud III drophead on screen the same era. This was a car glamorous enough that London's most fashionable filmmakers didn't need to invent a symbol of wealth and mystery. They simply borrowed one that already existed. Parked outside Crewe coach builders like H.J. Mulliner, Park Ward and James Young took the idea even further, hand-building drophead coupes and long-wheelbase limousines on the Cloud III chassis, of which only a few hundred were ever made, each one effectively one of one, not a variant. A commission. The Silver Cloud III would be the last of its line, the final Rolls-Royce built on this traditional separate chassis before the company moved into the monocoque era with the Silver Shadow. In that sense, it wasn't just a luxury car. It was the closing chapter of an entire way of making automobiles, a method where a human being, not a robot, decided how a piece of wood should be cut and how a seam of leather should sit against your hand. That's why, more than 60 years later, a Silver Cloud III doesn't feel old when you sit inside one. It feels finished, in a way almost nothing built today is allowed to be. If you enjoy hitting the pause button on time to rediscover machines like this one, built not to be replaced, but to be remembered, make sure you subscribe to Britain Pause, because there are far more forgotten British legends where this one came from.